What's up, y'all? It's Niyah Nel here rocking with my guy Justin Davis. What's up, Justin? What's going on?
Working on a lot of stuff, working on a move, just a lot of stuff going on right now.
That's definitely what I wanted to talk about first and foremost. So, it was brought to my attention that you are about to make a super, super big move.
Yes, I am taking my talents to California.
Take it across the coast.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks here. It's a big move. It's really major for me. But I mean, first and foremost, it's for my future, and it's also for just a lot of things that I want to do. I want to see something different. Like I've been in Virginia for 27 years. You know what I'm saying? So I've never made such a big leap like this in my life. So I'm really excited about it.
Going across the coast, what's taking you over there?
I freelance for Complex magazine right now. So I just want to move out there to be closer to that and help build and grow that relationship and have something bigger out there. And I have a lot of friends out there as well. So I have a lot of friends out there. So it's a lot of things that were pulling me to that move, and just it's the next natural progressive step for me to go next.
How long have you been with Complex?
A year. It was like a dream come true for me. And like the way that it all happened was really it was kind of like fate had unraveled for me at that time. Like when I graduated from VCU in 2010, I got out. It was like during the recession. Like I had nothing. I graduated. I had a degree. I didn't know where I was going in life. I probably sat at my mom's house for like about 3 or 4 months, just frustrated. Like jobs weren't coming in. I was taking little odd jobs. I was doing a lot of stuff. I eventually started working for Norfolk Public Schools. I worked there for a long time, and I never really wrote. I stopped writing when I got to college.
I was going to ask you, were you a journalism major?
Yeah, like I was a journalism major. Yeah. We were taught to do government writing. And I used to tell my teacher, like, this is big now. Like, this was like 08, 09. I'm like, Twitter's big now. Like, we're getting a lot of news from Twitter, and we're getting a lot of stuff from there. And I feel like keeping us to entertainment was kind of shielding us from what's really going on. And I remember she looked at me and said, that's not going to go anywhere. This is what the future is right here. And I just felt like it was so limiting. And she kind of like really discouraged me from writing for a long time. So I mean, it took me a while to get back on the horse and start writing. And I want to say around 2012, I started writing again. It took about 1.5 years for me to do it again. And I always said when I was in college that I wanted to write and I wanted to work for magazines like Complex or something like that. And I kind of gave up. And I think that was probably like my bottom. That was really my bottom, to be honest. And I started writing again, like reviews, little short columns for websites and stuff like that. I started tweeting a lot. I started tweeting a lot. Like, anyone who doesn't think the internet is like, it's real.
It's so
like,
important.
It's
Let
really
me tell
important.
you that
it's
I am
important.
a super tweeter.
Yeah.
Like, I can live without anything but Twitter.
Twitter was really, really important because it taught me the social aspect of what we do and what we
they get an idea of who you are, if you're keeping it real through your tweets. It's like even with me, I didn't really, first of all, I'm a very to myself type of person. If you knew me, then hey, you knew me. But my Twitter, like, I was out there. And that's how, people kind of gravitate towards that, especially when you're talking about things that you like to do. Stuff
and
that you're
it's the progression about. From that, dude. It was like I started writing again, and it was really therapeutic for me, especially with the depression that I was going through at the time. It was very real. I was like, I'm probably never going to be where I want to be at. I was really close to just saying I would never write again, and I'll just, give up on this. And I went to school for it. Like, I wanted to write ever since I was 6 years old.
So what are you more passionate about in your writing?
Music, entertainment. I can write about anything. Like, I'm into everything.
So something like Complex was always in your
it was always in the back of my mind to at least try it, and I think one day one of their like head guys, like Joe LaPuma, had followed me on Twitter, and I was like, this was like like, it was crazy to me. I was like,
you kind of already built your Twitter personality at that point.
It was, my Twitter personality was that of an asshole.
Okay.
And I said what I felt, that I didn't care. I argued with everybody. Like, I was just so upset and angry back in the day. Like, everything that came to me was just anger. And he followed me one day, and this is like fast forward in the story, but like I had DM'd him, and I was just like, fuck it, And I said, do you guys have any freelance positions open? And he hit me back immediately, and he was just like, yeah, I can find something for you. 10 reasons why Drake isn't a sneakerhead. When I got that story, it was like, oh my God.
How do you go about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, first off, it was kind of easy because it was Drake. You know what I'm saying? He's always like a lightning rod for that type of ridicule. Anyway, let me try and pick out things that I know that I wouldn't do with a pair of Air Jordans, which is jump in a pool or wear fakes or something like that. And it was just, it kind of came naturally, but I treated it like it was the biggest thing ever. And the list came out, you know, a lot of people loved it, and it was really cool. And I think a couple of days after that, Lauren, who is the music editor there, she DM'd me and said, hey, you want to come work for me? And that's how I started in music. She's like my spiritual advisor. Me and her, like, we clash, but at the same time I've learned a whole lot just from the experience, just from everybody there. You know what I'm saying? So it actually...
in a year.
Yeah, all in a year. I mean, you do a lot there, you know what I'm saying? And we, you know, the level of quality there is just so high. And it's taught me, you know, to raise my standards too, and to change how I look at things and view things.
Like XXL's kind of lost its touch. The source went like, what is it, like solely digital now? Yeah. Like you guys kind of set the standard now. What do you think that you guys did to like get to that point?
I mean, we're the pulse on everything that is hot and up and coming. They just have really great voices there. It's not only just me. It's just it's everybody there. You know, I look at their stories. I look up to everybody there, and sometimes I'm like, yo, I don't feel like I can match up to this, but you know, I try my best just to be the best. You know, so I think it's just about being in touch and in tune with everything that's going on.
Being that you are a writer, I want to ask you, how do you feel about the blogger versus the journalist, the hip hop journalist?
It's like a war. I think between bloggers and journalists. I think that in certain ways it's one and the same, but in a lot of ways, a lot of people don't take it as serious as they should. Like, you have to make sure that you do your research. I see a lot of people out there that they go off of assumptions and they go off of claims, and I've never really been the person to kind of post up something without having a legit way to figure out if it's the truth or not.
So who are you listening to now?
Oh,
who's hot to you right now?
Oh man, this year has been crazy for like street music. I think it's
taken over.
It's been a big street music year. Not so much on the mainstream side. It's been a really big street music year. I mean,
mixtapes were crazy.
Yeah, the mixtapes were crazy. But right now, like artist wise, of course, I really like, of course, Young Thug. I think he's one of the artists that are kind of blazing a trail for next year as far as what music should be sounding like, as far as being original. I really like Kendrick. A lot of people think I hate Kendrick. I don't hate Kendrick. I like Kendrick a lot. I think Drake is probably one of the best out right now, just in terms of the public eye. Those are like the top 3 for me right now. As far as everything else, it kind of falls by the wayside. I think I like Shy Glizzy is really coming up.
Yeah, I just listened to his tape actually.
He's probably like my favorite right now. I would really love to talk to him. Atlanta is probably the biggest.
Yeah, they're taking over right now.
They've been taking over. That's the thing. Like
they're that woke.
Yeah,
they let some other people squeeze in there a little bit.
Yeah, I mean they've been taking over. Like Bankroll Fresh is fire from there. Money Making Neek, Johnny Cinco. There's a lot of artists out there that I listen to, and they've always kind of blazed the trail once again as far as how music should sound, and you see all the other regions kind of take from that. But one thing that's really different now is the West Coast is starting to take over again. So you got YG.
Yeah, you have Mustard all over the
radio. I mean, crazy year for them. So I mean, I listen to that too. I personally think My Crazy Life is probably like my album of the year right now, and that's just because I love gangster rap though. It's
blowing me that it's not Grammy nominated. How do you feel about this Grammy nomination, hip hop wise?
I was pissed off. I felt like there should have been. I felt like My Crazy Life was real. It was honest. It had a lot of things that were true as far as where YG came from. When you parallel that to an album like Good Kid, Mad City, that got on from, just mass critical acclaim, I feel like YG's album got that much too. People just weren't expecting him to make an album like that.
That is exactly what it was.
I knew he could do it. That's the thing though, because I knew he could do it. So it was like, why is that fine, but that's not, because it's a gangster rap album? I feel like conscious rap